Well, welcome back to If You Noke, You Know, a municipal podcast brought to you by the City of Roanoke. I am your host, Carol Corbin, and today I have a very special co-host with me, our community engagement intern, Corey Silence.
Thanks, Carol. We've got another great episode for you all today. Pack up your camp chairs, put on your tank tops, and look to the sky because we are taking you behind the scenes for one of Roanoke's favorites, Freedom Festival.
That's right, Corey, and we have two guests with us today who are festival experts. Tim Pohland-Thomas, Parks and Recreation Special Events Coordinator, and Tyler Godsey from 5 Points Music Sanctuary.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to If You Noke, You Know.
Thank you.
Would you both introduce yourselves to our listeners and maybe let us know a bit about what you do in your roles, how long you've been doing it, and what you love most about living or working in Roanoke?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Tim Pohland-Thomas, and I'm the events coordinator for the City of Roanoke. And in my role, I do a lot of working on all of our internal events like Freedom Fest and Go Fest and other things like that, as well as helping other people that want to run events in the city come in and make sure they're going through all the right processes, have all the good permitting, and make sure they're ready to go and are set to run a great event. I've been in this job since December of last year, but I've been running events for 20 plus years. So excited to be a part of this and make a great Freedom Fest this year.
Awesome. What about you, Tyler?
I'm the founder and the director of 5 Points Music Sanctuary in Roanoke, Virginia. We are a nonprofit organization that uses our events to fund and promote programs that include music therapy, hearing loss advocacy, accessibility programs, and more. At the church, at the sanctuary here in Roanoke, we bring in artists from all over the world to celebrate the power of sound. When we go out and partner with other organizations, our goal is to explore the way that these experiences are more universally approachable. When we partner with the city, our goal is to reimagine how we utilize our green spaces. You know, the city's done such an amazing job of investing in public access spaces for us to go and get outside. And one of the elements that we often think about is that a park is not just a park. There's a lot of other ways that we can utilize these green space investments. And this is a great example at Freedom Fest in which we take that opportunity to advantage.
That's really, really cool. And what do you like most about either living or working in Roanoke?
One of my favorite things about Roanoke is the size of it, because you can be in a big city and do a lot of stuff and not feel like you're making a difference. In Roanoke, you can get out there, you can work with all these different organizations, and you can really make a change in Roanoke, and you can affect people in a great way. So that's my favorite part about being in Roanoke.
What about you, Tyler?
You know, I'm born and raised here in Roanoke. I've lived in Vermont, I've lived in Colorado, Florida, all over the country. And one of the things I love about Roanoke is the fact that everywhere I go, the people that make this place what it is, you look around, the restaurants, the beers, the breweries, the business owners, the organizations, the local governments, everybody seems to take a lot of pride in what they do. When you think about the cost of living, there's nothing that you can really compete with when you compare Roanoke's cost of living. We don't have a lot of traffic. We don't have a lot of the prices of everything seem to be somewhat more approachable than some of the other markets. But I have 2 kids and a beautiful wife, and they make it very easy for me to look good. But when I live in a place like Roanoke, it's just a great place for me to raise a family. But coming back here again, I look around and all of what we need here in Roanoke, we have. You want great restaurants, you have great restaurants. You want great breweries, you got great breweries. You want great music, you got great music. We really have just enough of everything here in the valley so that you don't have to feel like you're missing out from these urban centers that you might have in a DC or a Richmond. You got just enough to be able to go out and find your way.
One, I agree. And we're also just a short drive or train ride or plane ride to any of those places too. So we're kind of central. Like if you feel like you absolutely have to get out for some reason, like you got a day trip and you're back. You're back home. I love that. So let's jump into Freedom Festival. How long have we been doing Freedom Fest, and when is it going to be this year?
Yeah, so we've been doing fireworks for as long as anyone can remember, but the Freedom Fest and the way it is right now this will be the 3rd year it's happened. And we're really excited because it creates not just fireworks for people to watch, but it creates a atmosphere where everybody can come together from all throughout the city and be there and just celebrate, and have a great time. And there's activities for kids, there's activities for adults, there's music, there's fireworks, there's a little bit of stuff for everyone. And so we're really excited to be able to bring that for this 3rd year. And this year it'll be on Friday, July 5th, which is a great time. That way you can take the day off the next day. You don't have to go to work right afterwards. It's a great spot to be able to have that opportunity to do it on that Friday. So we're excited.
And where's it going to be at?
It's going to be at River's Edge South. So just right there at the soccer fields in the corner, right near the hospital.
With the mural in the background.
Mural's on North.
No.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, yeah.
The mural's on North, which that's where the fireworks will be setting off. So that'll actually be closed all to the public over there. So
don't go
you can
there.
look at that. You can look at that the next day, but that day we'll keep you on the south side of River's Edge to enjoy that there. But yeah, and then it's a great view of the fireworks from there, and we'll have music playing right up until it happens. So.
So what 5 Points does, well, we put on a lot of concerts inside the church. Our 5 Points Outdoors events really represent the idea that our message, our mission, our work is not confined to four walls of a venue. Our message and our mission is universal. Our 5 Points Outdoors shows reinforce this idea to its very extent that we go out and we say, how do we create a more approachable and universally acceptable world? When we partner with organizations like the local governments and Roanoke City Parks and Rec, these opportunities give us a great chance to not only leverage the resources of our regional community, but also to show the collaborative spirit that makes Roanoke all that it is. I truly believe it, and Tim and I have worked together for decades, and we've had so many different opportunities to celebrate and connect on just what makes this region what it is. And you ask what makes it so special. It is that when you look at almost every level of government, when you look at almost every level of local nonprofits, there's a collaborative spirit that really makes this place what it is. And Freedom Fest is a perfect embodiment of that idea. So 5 Points will come in, and we have a 5 Points Outdoors event that will have beverages and beer, wine, and we have an amazing two bands featuring Creedence Clearwater Revival tribute band, as well as one of our favorite and most successful bands that plays with us, the Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning played last year for the shortened experience that we have with the fireworks, kind of got delayed out. But they've just always been an amazing group of musicians that represent the creative class here in Roanoke and do such an awesome job. I'm really excited to be able to kind of come in and bring in the fireworks with them.
I 100% agree, but I also got to take a time out here because you said you two have been working together for decades. You've only been working with us for, around coming up on a year. Like, how have you guys worked together in the past?
Well, I remember it goes back when I think I walked in a friend of ours' wedding. His former wife was in the wedding, so I was like one of the groomsmen that had to walk down. That's how we first met. But over the years, we just became really close, and we realized that we had kids of similar age, and it's just this connections that we find in Roanoke are these people that are doing amazing things that you don't always realize until you get sort of this introduction. And I think Tim and I have worked together just directly, indirectly from all of his experiences that he's had from previous job with Walkabout Outfitters, with Ride Solutions and the Regional Commission, Wilderness Adventure, and to the city's Parks and Rec. And I've had various roles throughout the region doing my things from all over. I've worked in similar jobs that he's had, and it's just given us a good chance to collaborate and make things happen.
I love that. I love that collaboration and how it continues no matter where you're at.
Oh yeah, we work really well together. We each have our strengths, and we pull together and then make it happen. Just lots of years of like you said, Ride Solutions and working together, and all when I was at Wilderness Adventure, and just we also both have worked on many festivals around the area, like Floyd Fest and Rooster Walk and Red Wing and a bunch of different places where we've collaborated on many different pieces. So.
We did bring in the festival experts.
That's it.
Well, I wouldn't go so far to call myself an expert.
I will. I'll call you an expert.
We just know the right people to work with because everybody's great at what they do, and if we pull everybody together that knows exactly what they're doing, then we feel like experts because we brought the right people around us.
That's right. I think I surround myself with a lot of really talented people, and one of the things that people don't always realize is that a lot of the festivals in this region, even though they have their own sort of vibe and their own sort of experience, they're actually run by a lot of the same people. And the people that go and work these festivals, they go in, they buy into the vibe, whether you're at Rooster Walk or 4848 or Red Wing or Floyd Fest. All of the network of people that make these events happen is actually really small. And what you see are the cultures and the sort of vibe of each experience kind of take on its own little niche. And one of the things that I love about our region is that ability to kind of differentiate ourselves and not be just a one-trick pony. Each one of us has our own unique set of skill sets and our own sort of weaknesses, but we all try to build each other up and help to kind of make each other better humans, better professionals, better community stewards. And that attitude, I think, is reinforced when you do events like Freedom Fest and the things that we kind of see what's making Roanoke what it is.
I love that. And that, like, yeah, we're buying into the vibe. Like, no matter where we're at and where we're working at and going, like, yeah, you have this festival has something to offer and something to offer to different people, and we're going to buy into that because we want to make our community great.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I think that's what it ties into what you said earlier about, just trying to be an accessible organization. And I think what you said about all these people, although there's so much diversity in the events that you're having, it's a lot of the same people working together. I think that's really important to say, because a lot of these people, they do have accessibility at the forefront of their minds. To kind of segue actually to our next question, you both talked a little bit about the events. I know we have some bands coming up, but what else is there to do at Freedom Fest? I know you mentioned there's activities for kids and adults, so I'm going to ask you, what are those activities?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest things we'll have is we're working with AAA Entertainment, and they're bringing a host of different bounce house things, anything from bounce house axe throwing to jumping on a trampoline to an obstacle course so all kinds of stuff like that. We'll also have we'll be selling some Play Roanoke merch there, so if you want to come get some sweet merch there as well. But one of the cool things, and I'll let Tyler elaborate on this, that we're bringing is, and he works with this group a lot, is hearing testing. So we'll have a trailer there that will help you go in and you can just see what levels your hearing are at, because it's really important to his group and to everyone around. You only get 2 ears. You can, if you mess them up and they're good, you can't hear out of them anymore, then you're in trouble. So we all love music, and I would be very hurt if I could not listen to music anymore. So being able to have that opportunity to go in and get tested and talk to them about what maybe you can do. And I don't know if there's more you want to elaborate on that.
I appreciate you bringing that up, because that's really kind of the goal for us when we do these events, is to highlight how our programs integrate with these events. And one of the key facets for us is our hearing loss advocacy programs. As a board member for the Roanoke Valley Speech and Hearing Center, I work with them to get out into the community and remind people about the power of sound. It's not just it's a double-edged sword. On the one side, it can bring people together, but it can also have detrimental effects to people. Sometimes people come into our shows and they have no idea how loud it might be, right? One of the things we offer, free hearing protection for kids and for adults, but we also offer free mobile hearing testing in partnership with the Roanoke Valley Speech and Hearing Center. These mobile testing units come in, and it takes 5 minutes for you to get a test, and then we offer referral programs for people that may not have even had their hearing tested in a long time to kind of go in and say, well, where are you at with your hearing right now? And that's sometimes the first step, is just getting information before you can make the next step in the decision process. As we talked about, though, it's not just about what we hear, though. These experiences are defined by what we see, what we feel, what we share collectively. Now, when we mix that together in a pot, that's when you get these moments that we often chase at these live events. It's when all the people come together, when the lights, the band, the audience converge. That's that apex moment where it doesn't matter where we're from, who we love, what God we love. All that stuff washes away. With each one of our events, we chase that moment for its unity and its purity. At the end of the day, this is another good example of exactly what we mean when we talk about that.
And with the mobile hearing testing, will there be do you have to sign up to do it, or is it just first come, first serve? What is that process like?
Roanoke Valley Speech and Hearing Center has an awesome testing coordinator named Charlie Carney. And so you can come in, and he'll be sitting right outside. You can just roll right in, and he'll, if there's a long line outside for it, then you'll just wait for the next opportunity. But they have the ability to do multiple hearing tests at the same time. Oh, cool. So it's something easily scalable. And if you haven't had your hearing tested in a while, it's a good place to go do it.
That's really cool. I probably need to go. I'm not gonna
Does
lie.
5 Points do this at all of their events?
Say this again?
Does 5 Points do that at all the events that you guys work with?
We try to do it as much as we can. Again, these things cost money. Mm-hmm. When we bring in a mobile hearing unit, the cost associated with Roanoke Valley Speech and Hearing Centers can be substantial. You're paying for staff, gas, the equipment that it takes. We often try to work to subsidize those costs, but we're very fortunate to have a great partnership with Roanoke Valley Speech and Hearing that has recognized the value of this and served as a collaborative partner for us so that we can offer these services. Ultimately, the costs associated with providing these services do need to be captured at some point, but I can't do them for every single show, schedules and everything, but we do them as much and as frequently as we can. They were I'd say 1 out of every 2 or 3 shows you'll have access to these testing.
That's awesome. And, okay, this is the big question. The fireworks.
Yes.
When and where are they happening?
Yeah, absolutely. So the goal is to shoot them off right at 9:30. We'll have the music playing right up until that happens, and they will be shot off at River's Edge North, but there's a clear view from River's Edge South. So what's important to know is that River's Edge North will be closed that whole day because the fireworks will be there being set up. So, the roads will be closed to make sure kind of go around how you need to get there. But we will have plenty of space at River's Edge South for you to sit there and be able to listen to music, have a great spot. We'll have a couple of full-service food trucks, three snack food trucks as well, so plenty of food there. 5 Points will be serving alcohol there as well, so they'll have that piece of that. And, just an opportunity for people to get together and sit and hang out at River's Edge South while waiting for the fireworks to go off at 9:30. So.
Perfect.
You bring up a good point, though. The parking lot, Tim, at River's Edge North, it's right kind of where the Carillion Research Center is. That parking garage is going to be one of the primary parking areas, or where would people go to park for this?
Actually, that one will be closed off this year, but we have the parking garage that's right next to the hospital, across the road from the hospital there, and then the one over there near Crystal Spring, near the Blue Ridge Cancer Center and that Crystal Spring area, that parking garage, both of those are great spots to park. There's also going to be street parking around and stuff, but the important thing is to make sure that if you're out there right around the time the fireworks are going off, do not just stop in the middle of the road, find a safe place to pull over, make sure you're doing the right thing, because we want everybody to have a great time, but we want everybody to make it home safe after this as well.
One of the things that we worked on at Ride Solutions was how we deal with parking management, right? And the city, the region has done such a great job of investing in things like the greenways, and it's not just a recreational concept. The greenway itself is, by definition, in my mind, a transportation throughway. And when you think about how accessible our community has been made just because we've invested in things like the greenways, you'll see people come from all over town that don't have to find a parking spot. They hop on the greenway with their bikes. You can park at Wasena Park, and you've got a short little bike ride for you and your family, so you don't have to come all the way down and park there. Mm-hmm. How we leverage and utilize, again, the investments that our community has made in the green spaces and activities concepts, those are things that we can highlight during these events. So it's not just about driving from afar and finding a parking spot. Go look around, take advantage of the greenway activities that we have, the river access, explore our community, and then end it up right down at River's Edge.
I couldn't have said it better. We need to get you on the podcast more often. I'm not going to lie. That was excellent.
Perfect.
I was also thinking, you could, if parking was what you needed to, you could park anywhere downtown and hop on one of the scooters and scooter over. And plus, it's not a far walk from almost anywhere. I mean, you can walk almost anywhere in sort of that downtown South Roanoke area in like 10-15 minutes. It's not bad at all. So if you're having to pack some stuff in because you're bringing your own chairs, or you're bringing are people allowed to bring food in, or is it like we need to get food from the food trucks there? What does that look like?
We would prefer to get food from the food trucks.
Sure.
If there's some snack things and stuff like that, and some non-alcoholic beverages, you're welcome to bring a little bit of that in. But we really want to make this a community event. We want to support these food trucks and support these organizations that are there helping us out with this event. It's what, if you support one group, it supports all of us. So it's a great way to just come in and support. And if you are walking, you don't have to carry anything there or back. So it's a much lighter walk, easier to get there. And so,
touche.
To that point, while this is a free event and it's come one, come all, there's no outside alcohol. The coolers will be checked to make sure we don't have any outside alcohol, because I think that's just a part of the laws when it comes to ABC things. But to the extent that people come in and they want to bring a chair, they want to get comfortable, a blanket, absolutely. It's a 4th of July celebration. You don't want to just be, standing the whole time, and sometimes you might want to have a little small little tent that you might put your kids up underneath to get away from the sun that's on the ground, or a blanket or something like that. So if there's things that help make it more comfortable to you, we'll be happy to accommodate people, but no outside alcohol.
Yeah. And always just make sure whatever it is that you have is respectful to those around you. Don't come bringing a big easy up or anything like that. It needs to be something that's respectful and that you would want to be able to be behind as well and be comfortable sitting there and still be able to see. So whatever it is you bring, we want you to be comfortable. We want you to have a great time. Just make sure you're thinking about everybody else as well, and we're all in this together. Because we all want to be
comfortable. We all want to have a good time. Absolutely. So we mentioned it a little earlier with the delay last year, but walk us through, briefly what happened last year and how are we maybe preparing for what that could be like if it happened this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So last year the music was going, everything was going great, and then we had a storm that kind of rolled in, popped up last minute due to a little bit of heat, kind of a heat storm with some lightning in it. At that moment, we had to stop all the music, and we wanted everybody to get somewhere safe. They were sheltered in place, make sure that everybody was out of the danger area due to lightning. But then what happened in that case last year is there was an opening that was open for about 30 minutes in between another storm that was coming too. So in that instance, when it comes to the fireworks, once they're set, they have to be fired off. They can't you can't take them apart. Once they're there, they got to go. So the fireworks guys at that point made the decision that this is our chance to shoot them off. They shot them off during that time frame that they were there, and we got them off, and everybody got to see a great fireworks show. So this year, obviously, we can't control the weather, even though I did call in some nice weather. So we can't control it. But we are ready, and we are in direct communication with the fire department and the people that shoot off the fireworks, and our organization. We'll all have radios and quick communication. We'll have with the communications department. We have everything ready to go in case we need to make announcements. But we'll have a couple of different things. So one, if it's storming all day and something like that, we'll talk about possibly the cancellation of the Freedom Festival ahead of time. But, that's not going to happen again because I caught in the good weather. But if it happens during the event, we'll have announcements on the PA system. We'll have stuff that we can put up on these screens that we have to just say, here's where you need to go to be safe. Here's our plan. Not necessarily delaying the fireworks at that point, but just finding out when the best time is for us to shoot them off to make sure that everybody gets a chance to see them. But it's also safe for them, for us, and that everybody around is in a safe spot. So
I think Tim brings up a great point. The safety is the priority for us. When it comes to things like storms and lightning, we live in a beautiful area, but the summer tends to roll things in without kind of really, you don't really know when you're going to get a quick summer thunderstorm. To that effect, though, I think that every time you kind of have a thunderstorm come in, it's sort of a strike of lightning within a certain radius will cut things back 30 minutes. And so we'll pull things back for a 30-minute window so we clear from that initial lightning strike. And once that 30 minutes has evolved, we can push forward. And that's typically kind of the way that the storms are managed. And I think that we have some window of flexibility that if we have a delay this year again, we can still push it a little bit further so that it doesn't affect the whole the actual fireworks themselves. It might just push it a 30-minute window, and hopefully we just don't have too much of that at all. I told Tim I'd make a phone call to my weather gods. He hadn't answered yet. I left a message, but I told him to give us some love for it.
Well, I'll be honest, I've been making those same calls, but I've been asking for a little bit of rain.
Oh no, that's why he didn't pick up.
No, it's dry. It is dry out there, but not for Freedom Fest. We want perfect weather for Freedom Fest. I just maybe like a little rain, like last night. It rained last night. We got a little bit. It was good.
Yeah. While we were sleeping, so it didn't really bother anybody.
Exactly. And speaking of sleeping, I know you said we had a window. We have some time we could push back these fireworks, but are you going to push them back till midnight, 3 a.m.? I'm in bed. I'm asleep. But how late can we go with this?
Yeah, so our kind of end piece where we can't go any later than that is when our parks close at 11 p.m. Okay. So that's the closing of the parks. Our goal is not to have to get that far, but but we'll all be there the whole time. We'll be ready to go. So if we do need to delay it a little bit, the band will be ready to hop back out there. The fireworks will be ready to get shot off. So we're ready for just about anything and hoping for nothing.
I know. That's great. And I sort of jumped around a bit. I think we wanted to know a little bit more about 5 Points.
Yeah, we'd love to hear just a little bit more about 5 Points, what you guys do with your other events. Yeah. I mean, you've told us quite a bit already, but if there's anything that you feel like you'd love to
we just had a great event last night that called our Dinner in the Dark, and it was in honor of deaf-blind awareness. So we had a 5-course meal with a bunch of wine pairings in which we ate blindfolded as a way to remind people about the recognized deaf-blind awareness, but also to get people to tap into different senses and to understand that the power of our experiences are multifaceted. At our events and our shows, they serve as a platform to fund and promote our programs, which include music therapy, hearing loss advocacy, accessibility programs, and more. In the lower level of the venue of the sanctuary, we run a year-round music therapy program for all types of ages with special needs. They range from 3 years old with Down syndrome to veterans with PTSD. Our hearing loss advocacy efforts, which we have spoken a little bit about, include free mobile hearing testing. We give away free kids' ear protections and adult high-fidelity earplugs for our events. When we think about accessibility, our goal is to create programs and ideas that allow us to have a more universal approach to our world. At our events, we have things like sub packs and headphones that feed into the PA system wirelessly and allow people to feel the vibrations of the music or wear the headphones if someone has sensory-related challenges, hearing loss itself, or if they want to chomper-proof the show because people are talking all around them, they can wear these headphones and have a more universal approach to these experiences. We offer things like colorblind glasses for people to watch the lights as originally intended. Collectively, when we use these events, the fundamental goal is to use them as a way to promote and fund and talk about these programs. At the church, we develop the programs, and then we create opportunities to scale them. So when we go to Freedom Fest, we're not just doing it for 250 people, we're doing it for potentially 2,000 or more people. So when we do these kind of events, we'll go to different festivals that we work with. We were at Whiz Bangers Ball, and we'll be at Healing Appalachia coming up. When we go to these festivals, the goal is to develop the programs here and then scale them for the bigger audiences and festivals as we go forward. This is a great example of that.
Mm-hmm. And where is the sanctuary actually located?
So we're located on 1217 Maple Avenue. You can find our website at 5pointsmusic.com. That's 5 with a number. But it's right down on Jefferson, right across from the Carilion Breast Care Center. And some people ask, well, why the 5 Points? Well, the historical neighborhood was called 5 Points. There's little 5 Points intersections right there. But the sanctuary is almost not quite a 100-year-old church in which we've been there for coming up at the end of this year, 8 years. And it is a special place. We bring artists from all over the world to come to this little space in Roanoke, Virginia, to celebrate the power of sound. It started with me. I have 2 beautiful kids. They were both born deaf. They both received cochlear implants, giving us the gift of sound. That gift serves as the inspiration, the spark for everything we do. And from there, we've been able to build this amazing organization that has a lot of amazing points of impact, not just here in Roanoke, but throughout the region.
I'm also kind of stuck on the blindfolded dinner,
Yes.
and I'm so upset that I missed that. I kind of want to recreate it for myself, just like to go home and have dinner that way, because what a way to experience like the flavor of food and to really tap into the other senses that you have.
Yeah, one of the things that we've been doing with Pumpernickel Pickle, who's been our catering partner for that event, when they first started doing it, you don't think about how it might be to be blind and eat. So you often think about your plates that are kind of flat plates. Well, if you don't see, you're scooping food off the plate. So we create vessels and dishes that have maybe 90-degree sidewalls so that you can scoop your food up without it falling off the plate. We think about how we serve dishes, like we had a seafood bisque last night that was served in a champagne glass. We think about how we navigate our world in a way that might put us the experience is designed to create a point of empathy, in which for a split second we put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. Imagine what it might be like for them. And I believe inherently that if the world was a little more empathetic, it would be a whole lot better place. And so the goals of these events are to create little points of empathy when we think about somebody else, while also recognizing that these events can serve as a cultural and uplifting experience for the people around us.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I was there last night, and this is actually the 3rd dinner in the dark I've done. So
Don't be braggy.
it's really interesting, the things that you think about, though. Like, one of the things that I never would have thought about is that when I talk to people, I look at them and use that a lot more to focus on what they're saying. When you're blindfolded and you hear all this talking, it's hard to focus on one particular conversation, and it's hard to put that all into this, like you're having a conversation. There's so much background noise, and I already have trouble with background noise that thinking about that, though, it really makes me realize how hard it must be for people that don't have that ability to look at someone and be able to see their mouth moving and be able to connect that. And so it's just that is a part of it, and then the eating part and just learning how to navigate a table, but keeping your hands low so you're not knocking wine glasses over and whatever. I'm
still surprised. 3 years in a row, I don't think we've had one wine spill.
It's pretty crazy.
It's like we're on a good success.
Yeah.
People know what to put the focus on.
Right.
They're like, we're going to be real careful going
Real
for the wine.
slow.
I'm going to hold my hand on this one the whole time. I'm not going to let go,
I can't say that for myself,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah. But it's a really great experience, and it's something that I will continue to do every time it's offered. And I recommend everybody get out there and try it, either whether it's at your house or coming to Dinner in the Dark at 5 Points. Yeah,
absolutely. And how often do you do events like that?
Well, the Dinner in the Dark is held every year during Deaf Blind Awareness Week, which is at the last week of June. We have other fundraiser events that we operate. So next big one for us is our Golf for Sound tournament that's held the first Friday in October. and that's at Roanoke Country Club. We also have annual dinners that we do in January. We provide a lot of different fundraising concepts. That the core programs that we have for our fundraisers are the Dinner in the Dark, our Golf for Sound tournament, our annual dinner, and then a series of online campaigns. I've been asked to do more dinners, and quite frankly, I'd love to do more. I think that when we look at the calendar and where they fit and how they fit programmatically, how do we create overlaps so that it's not just about the dinner, but how do we connect that with the programmatic values of what we're trying to focus on? And for me, I don't want to just open up the doors, say, oh, it's a great event, and go bring in money. I really want to emphasize the concept behind it and recognize why we choose to do these things, not just the fact that we can, but recognize why. Sometimes the answers to why are often unknown, and there's often a fleeting question that you just can't get to. For me, that's something that's very important when we do fundraiser events, to remind ourselves why we do what we do. And so when I put on an event, there is a why behind it, and that's something that's really important to me.
Well, I don't know about you, Corey, but like hearing about 5 Points, I'm super stoked about this collaboration between the city and 5 Points to make Freedom Fest happen. And with that being said, as we sort of wrap up, is there anything else that either or both of you want to leave us with that you haven't gotten to say about what's going to happen at Freedom Fest this year?
Yeah, one thing I'll say, and I'll talk a little bit more about Freedom Fest too, is the best way to support anything, whether it's Roanoke Parks and Rec or whether it's 5 Points or anything out there, is to get out there and attend and be a part of it and enjoy it. And then if you love it and it's something you want to support it more by volunteering next time. And after that, support in other ways by inviting your friends, letting people know about it. Whether you can make it or not, the best thing you can do is to put it out there and let other people know about it. Just like just now, you learning about the Dinner in the Dark. By us talking about it, now you are intrigued about it and you're going to ask more questions about it in the future, and that'll expand this knowledge of everything there. And in terms of Freedom Fest, just come out, bring yourself out to enjoy it, bring your family, get ready to see some great music and some great fireworks.
I think for me, one of the things I love about what we do is that during these experiences, these events like this, it's a catalyst to bring people together from all sides of different spectrums of beliefs and backgrounds and in different phases of their lives. And when I think about how music serves as the primary agent for bringing people together from different political sides of the spectrum to different people that care about where they are in life, whether they're retirees or whether they're new parents, these kind of experiences offer a really great way for us to bring our community together in an apolitical manner, but also really just remind us why we have such a great, beautiful region full of people that really care about where we are. They care about the values that we present to our broader community. They care about how each of us is able to succeed in whatever it is we're trying to do. And no one's entitled to that success, but when people put their 2 cents into it, when they work really hard and they take pride in what they do, you realize that there's a lot more success that's captured because of that. And I see something like this with a partnership with the city, when we do other events with whether it's Roanoke County, whether it's Roanoke City, whether it's other organizations outside of this market, I really find that the connections that we have from people from all different spheres of influence is the thing that makes me feel most good about all this. And so when I come, when we talk about 4th of July, we talk about uniting, about freedom and independence and going back to the roots of what makes our country so great. It's something that I feel very proud about. And I hope that kind of transcends into the experience itself this weekend or next weekend.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us and telling us so much about what each of you do. I think Carol and I are both going to put the next Dinner in the Dark on our calendars.
June 25th, 2025.
Awesome. We got it. We're there.
We're there. It's on the calendar.
Yeah. Well, we're also both so excited for Freedom Fest, and we hope to see all of our listeners there on Friday, July 5th. And we want to thank our listeners as well for joining us at If You Noke, You Know. We'll see you next time.